Where Dwight Howard ranks among the all-time greatest centers is up for debate, but without a doubt, he was the most dominant big man in the league in the late 2000s and early 2010s while with the Orlando Magic. After the Magic took him first overall in the 2004 NBA draft, his game evolved nicely, often overpowering opponents during his prime with his blend of supreme athleticism, mobility, strength, and defensive brilliance. Here I go through the main things that stood out about his game during his Magic tenure. Offensively, Howard was a dunking machine. Since dunks started getting tracked in 1996-97, nobody has more of them than him. Throughout his career, he had 2,950 dunks, including 1,662 of them with Orlando. With the Magic, his dunks would come in a variety of ways. One of the most common ways was when he would spin off his defender in the post and then catch alley-oop lobs from teammates. Opponents couldn't guess in time whether he was going to run up and set an on-ball pick, seal off his defender in the post, or make a quick spin move toward the basket. In the pick and roll, he had many thunderous rim rockers as the roller. Opponents against the Magic in that era had an extremely hard time defending pick and rolls with Howard rolling in and either Jameer Nelson or Hedo Turkoglu as the playmaker. Because both Nelson and Turkoglu were good shooters, it forced opponents to pick their poison when it came to their defensive coverages on those pick and rolls. Another big thing was how well spaced out the Magic were with shooters stationed around the perimeter and nobody clogging the lane, which enabled Howard to have clear access in the paint to storm in. With his mobility, he was great at sprinting down the floor and getting easy dunks in transition. When the Magic's ball handlers like Nelson, Turkoglu, and Rafer Alston got deep into the paint on drives, they would often find Howard hanging around the dunker spot for easy finishes at the basket, especially when a help defender put pressure on the driver. I'll get to his rebounding in a bit, but he had so many putback dunks. He was so tenacious around the basket and had that unique ability to get off the ground quickly after coming down with the offensive board. He just cleaned up so many misses. Howard led the league in total offensive rebounds in the 2008-09 season. As his game matured, he became more of a threat out of the low post. He developed a somewhat consistent baby hook shot, either running through the lane or off a spin move. He mixed in his power game with some finesse and creativity, which made him more of a scoring threat in the late 2000s and early 2010s. Between the 08-09 and 11-12 seasons, he led the league in hook shots made, with 534 of them. Roy Hibbert was second in that span with 467 made hook shots. Only two other players in that time frame, Andrew Bogut and Pau Gasol, made at least 300 of them. The Magic became a more dangerous offensive team after they signed Rashard Lewis in 2007. Stan Van Gundy, Orlando's head coach at the time, made Lewis more of a stretch four, which enabled the Magic to play inside out, with Howard operating from the post and shooters spaced all around him. We would see Dwight make solid reads from the post, particularly when double teams came, and he would spray the ball out to guys like Lewis, Turkoglu, and Nelson regularly for clean looks from three-point range. From 2007 through 2012, the Magic took the most three-pointers in the league, ranking number 1 or number 2 in attempts each of those seasons. Dwight got fouled a ton throughout his career. Often it was the best way to deny him from having a strong game because of how much he struggled with his free throw shooting, but he did connect on a lot of N1s. The most he ever had in a season was 94, which came in the 08-09 season. Hack at Dwight was a thing at times. In fact, in one game against the Golden State Warriors on January 12, 2012, he took 39 free throws, many of which came off intentional fouling by the Warriors. An interesting side note is that on his very first regular season possession of his NBA career, which took place on November 3, 2004 against the Milwaukee Bucks, he came down with an offensive rebound and was then immediately fouled, which sent him to the free throw line. It was Howard's defense, though, that really made him one of the all-time greats. His combination of timing, technique, elevation, and instincts made it so tough for opponents to score near the basket against the Magic in that era. Dwight led the league in blocks during both the 08-09 and 09-10 seasons. Even when he didn't block a shot, he would alter them a lot of the time. Orlando had the league's number 1 defense in 08-09 and was 4th in both 09-10 and 10-11. They also were number 1 in limiting opponent points in the paint each of those seasons. Dwight, meanwhile, was number 1 in defensive rebounding each of his final 5 seasons in Orlando. He's 4th all-time in NBA history in total defensive rebounds, with 10,476 of them, including 5,806 of them with the Magic. Just to highlight some noteworthy achievements during his time with the Magic, he was an All-Star in each of his last 6 seasons in Orlando, was the runner-up for the MVP award in the 2010-11 season, finishing behind Derrick Rose, was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year with the Magic, made the All-NBA First Team 5 times with Orlando, ranked number 1 in franchise history in points, rebounds, blocks, and free throw attempts, had 41 20-plus point, 20-plus rebound games with the Magic, made a game-winning alley-oop dunk against the San Antonio Spurs on February 9, 2007, recorded a rare triple-double with blocks, 30 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 blocks against the Oklahoma City Thunder on November 12, 2008. Scored 40 points and grabbed 14 rebounds in Orlando's series-clinching victory over Cleveland in Game 6 of the 2009 Eastern Conference Finals. Won the Slam Dunk Contest at NBA All-Star Weekend in 2008, and won the team's Rich and Helen DeVos Community Enrichment Award a team record 6 times. So that will wrap up this video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe.